International Human Rights Day is being observed with the theme Dignity, Freedom and Justice for All today. Also in this edition of Kantipur News, we have updates from the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict and the English Premier League. Good morning, I'm Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Federal government fails to meet the ultimatum to formulate Civil Service Act and Police Coordination Management. Buddhist Chief Minister Yadav warns of a protest. International Human Rights Day being celebrated across the country today, increasing grievances of deteriorating human rights situation amid rising impunity. 36% of households in Gaza experiencing severe hunger. The death toll in Gaza reaches almost 18,000. Yemen's Houthis warn of targeting all Israel-bound ships. And Arsenal miss out on retaining the top spot in the English Premier League after suffering a 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa. Bournemouth thrashed Manchester United 3-0. Saying the one-month ultimatum issued to the federal government for formulation of the Civil Service Act and management of police coordination, Madhya Province Chief Minister Saroj Kumar Yadav has warned of a protest. A team including Yadav met with Prime Minister Dahal earlier this morning and issued the warning. Chief Minister Yadav alleged the government of hesitating in formulating laws provisioned by the Constitution. In response, Prime Minister Dahal said that he himself and his party, CPN Maoist Center, were the pioneers of federalism and added that the government was seriously working for formulation of the laws. Saying the government had moved forward with the bills related to federalism and the final decision had to come from the parliament, Prime Minister Dahal urged Chief Minister Yadav to put the protests on hold. Prime Minister's Secretariat has claimed that the Premier's suggestion was taken positively by Chief Minister Yadav. It is the International Human Rights Day today. The day is being observed with this year's theme, Dignity, Freedom and Justice for All. Grievances of deteriorating condition of human rights in the country has been increasing, with impunity being one of the aggravating factors. The National Human Rights Commission says that there are challenges in protecting and promoting human rights. The Commission has further added that all state bodies must be mobilized to ensure that goals are attained in line with the sentiments of the Constitution and to protect the rights of target and marginalized groups. The Commission has blamed the government of failure in implementing the recommendations made so far. The National Human Rights Commission Act 2068 has yet to be amended as per the Constitution of Nepal. In the annual report submitted by the Commission to the President earlier this week, the Commission has stated that 100 complaints of abuse of human rights had been filed at the NHRC in the fiscal year 2017-18. We have a news of an accident. The Barua Bazaar in Chitwan's Mari has been closed after a teacher died in a vehicular accident. The Madi municipality has given holiday to all schools in the local level. Surya Adhikari of Madi and Big Khatri of Surkhet have died after a four-wheeler that was headed towards the wrong lane hit a motorcycle. The Chitwan Police Administration has said that both the individuals had died last night. Bhavani Prasad Podal of Sangza, who was on the passenger seat or pillion rider seat of the motorcycle, has been injured. He is undergoing treatment at Bogoda Hospital. The three individuals who had been riding the motorcycle were employees at Someswar Primary School in Madi. The deceased Khatri and injured Podal were teachers at the school, while Adhikari was the accountant. Meanwhile, one individual has died and another has been injured in the inner road section of Siddhartha Chowk in eastern Chitwan as well. The Prime Minister Dahal has termed corruption control is what he said, easier said than done. Nepal observed International Anti-Corruption Day yesterday by organizing various programs across the country. Speaking at a function organized by the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority in the capital, Prime Minister Dahal viewed that despite all-out efforts, the government has not met desired success in rooting out corruption. Prime Minister Dahal also informed that efforts were underway to form laws to rope in money earned through undisclosed sources and deposited in foreign banks. Addressing the function, Acting Chief of the Corruption Watchdog CIA Kishore Kumar Silwal viewed that corruption in Nepal was an ethical problem. The acting CIA chief also urged the government to endorse the under consideration bill on anti-corruption to give more teeth to the body. On October 31, 2003, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the UN Convention Against Corruption and requested that the Secretary General designate the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime as the Secretariat for the Convention's Conference of State Parties. Since then, 190 parties have committed to the Convention's anti-corruption obligations, showing near universal recognition of the importance of good governance, accountability and political commitment. The Assembly also designated 9th of December as International Anti-Corruption Day to raise awareness of corruption and of the role of the Convention in combating and preventing it. The Convention entered into force in December 2005. CPN Chair Prarambha Dahal had pledged of maintaining good governance in the country when he assumed the post of Prime Minister on 25th December last year. However, the public are still awaiting for the Premier to fulfill his pledges. The corruption and irregularities have been on the rise instead, with every other scandal hitting the headline. And leaders of the main opposition as well as the ruling alliance parties have admitted the government's failure in maintaining good governance. Prime Minister Prarambha Dahal had shown enthusiasm in maintaining good governance during his initial days as the country's Prime Minister. He had tried to give a positive message by initiating investigations on Lalita Niwas land grab scam case, fake Bhutanese refugee scam and gold smuggling case. However, Premier Dahal's pledge of curbing corruption in the country has subsided in recent times. Likewise, grievances regarding corruption and irregularities have been increasing. The smuggling of large amount of yellow gold from the Trivandrum International Airport has continued unabated. The main opposition CPN-UML has blamed the government of failure in investigating high-profile cases of corruption. The ruling alliance parties too have become discontent with the government. The government works have been lackluster, while it has also failed to increase development expenditure. The national economy has been reeling under crisis and trade deficit has been increasing. Likewise, the trend of young generation going abroad amid lack of job opportunities back home has continued. Instances of people being taken abroad through illegal routes by human traffickers has also been increasing, while the government has failed to book the perpetrators. Prime Minister Dahal had directed ministers and secretaries to conduct result-oriented works during the beginning of the current fiscal year. However, the ministers and secretaries have yet to follow the Premier's directives. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked in several provinces regarding ways to control corruption. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
भ्रष्टाचारीहरूलाई कडाभन्दा कडा कारबाही गरियो भने यसको सहजै नियन्त्रण हुन सक्छ।
कानुनमा भएका कुरालाई कार्यान्वयन गर्नुपर्दछ।
भ्रष्टाचारीलाई संरक्षण गर्नु भएन।
घुस माग्ने त्यस्ता कोही प्रवृत्तिका मान्छेहरू आए भने हामी आफै सचेत भएर सम्बन्धित निकायमा खबर गरिदिनु पर्छ।
नागरिक नै आफै सचेत हुनुपर्ने जरुरी देख्छु म।
काम गरेको मूल्याङ्कन पनि सही दिनु पर्यो।
जबसम्म राजनीतिक दलले आफू भित्र सुधार ल्याउँदैन, भ्रष्टाचार कुनै पनि हालतमा नियन्त्रण हुँदैन।
हामीले नि बानी बिगारे हो कि घुस दिएर हो कि?
सरकार यस पर पुरै ध्यान दिनु पर्यो, तब देश सुधर्छ।
दुईमाथि कारबाही हुनु पर्यो अनि मात्र नियन्त्रण न हामीले दिन्छौँ न अरूले लिन्छ।
घुस लिने दिने दुवैलाई कारबाही नभएसम्म भ्रष्टाचार नियन्त्रण हुँदैन।
आयोगहरूले आफ्नो जिम्मेवारी पूरा गर्ने हो भने नेपालमा क्षणिक समयमा नै भ्रष्टाचार न्यूनीकरण गर्न सकिन्छ।
भ्रष्टाचारीहरूलाई संरक्षण गर्नु हुँदैन।
जबसम्म नैतिक सुधार मान्छेमा हुँदैन तबसम्म यो भ्रष्टाचार उन्मूलन चाहिँ हुँदैन।
ठाउँको ठाउँ कारबाही हुनु पर्यो।
संस्थागत भ्रष्टाचारहरू र नीतिगत भ्रष्टाचारहरूलाई नियन्त्रण गर्नको लागि चाहिँ कानुन निर्माण गरेरै जानुपर्छ।
भ्रष्टाचार चाहिँ अपराध हो भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ हामीले एउटा जनचेतना फैलाउनु पर्छ।
नीतिगत रूपमा हुने भ्रष्टाचारलाई सरकारले नियम कानुन अनुसार उसको आफ्नो जो नियम कानुन बनेको छ त्यही अनुसारले उसले नियन्त्रण गर्यो भने।
According to a study, Nepal earns almost 67 billion rupees annually from the export of information technology related services. Likewise, around 70,000 youth are involved in the information technology sector. But the government has failed to create opportunities in the industry to prevent these young generations from going abroad and to ensure the overall development of the information technology sector. Job opportunities in various sectors have been decreasing in the country in recent years, while in the information technology sector, it has been expanding. The young generation involved in the sector is doing most of the available opportunities. Those who have returned home after completing their education abroad have been working for international companies based in Japan, America, the United Arab Emirates, and South Korea, among others, from Nepal. Nepal has been providing IT services including programming, coding, designing, software development and testing among others to foreign companies. As per the latest study conducted by the Institute for Integrated Development Studies IIDS, the country has been generating around 67 billion rupees annually from this sector. Experts view that the government must formulate clear policies in this regard. There is absence of proper laws related to cybersecurity and data security. The operators of IT companies say that the authority has failed to attract more youth in the sector by constructing required infrastructures, including internet and electricity. The government has also failed in promoting the workforce available in the country. Not a single study has been conducted from the government level regarding export of IT services. According to the policy introduced by the government, tax will not be imposed for 5 years on startup companies with transactions up to 1 million rupees annually that uses innovative skills and technology. Likewise, the government has made a decision to provide 50% tax concession to companies that provide services including business process outsourcing, software programming and cloud computing among others to international companies. It is now time for our segment Public Polls, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Poll.
The question is, what should be done to increase export of service involving information technology? Your options are A. Clear policies, B. Infrastructure development, and C. Search for market. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. A news regarding another case of gold smuggling. 6.5 kilograms of gold has been recovered at the Trivandrum International Airport. More updates on this in the upcoming bulletins. Time now for the international news. The United Nations World Food Programme WFP says 36% of Gaza households are now experiencing severe hunger. Carl Scow, Deputy Director of the UN World Food Programme, said only a fraction of supplies needed have been able to enter the Strip and 9 out of 10 people cannot eat every day. He added that conditions in Gaza have made deliveries almost impossible. Meanwhile, there is no safe place to go in the Gaza Strip, says Ashraf Al-Qudra, the spokesperson for Gaza's health ministry. Israel says it must continue airstrikes on Gaza to eliminate Hamas and bring Israeli hostages home. Meanwhile, Yemen's Houthis have warned they will target all Israel-bound ships. The U.S. State Department has skipped a congressional review for the emergency sale of 14,000 tank shells to Israel. At least 17,700 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza since October 7, with more than 48,800 wounded. In Israel, the revised official death toll stands at about 1,147. Thousands rallied in Tel Aviv yesterday night calling for the release of hostages held in Gaza 2 months after they were taken captive from Israel by Hamas gunmen. The parents of 19-year-old hostage Itai Chen addressed the crowd calling for the Red Cross to be able to visit their son and for the Israeli government to show leadership. Around 100 hostages were released by the Islamist militant group that rules Gaza in exchange for Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails under a 7-day truce that ended last Friday. Israel says more than 130 remain in Gaza. Israel launched its campaign to annihilate Gaza's Hamas rulers after their fighters burst into Israeli towns on October 7, killing 1,200 people and capturing 240 hostages, according to Israeli tallies. The vast majority of Gaza's 2.3 million residents have already been forced from their homes, many fleeing several times, and at least 17,700 have been killed, according to Gaza's health ministry. At least 6 people have died and dozens have been injured after heavy thunderstorms and a tornado battered Tennessee yesterday. 3 people died in the Nashville area and 3 in Clarksville. Clarksville Mayor Joe Pitts confirmed the tornado, and Clarksville police reported extensive damage in numerous locations as rain and lightning continued into the evening. Over 59,000 households were without power across central Tennessee. Storm-related damage was reported in areas of Montgomery, Davidson and Sumner counties as well. University of Pennsylvania President Liz McGill, who came under fire for her stance on anti-Semitism on campus, has resigned, the Ivy League school said on Saturday. McGill was one of 3 top university presidents who were criticized after they testified at a congressional hearing on Tuesday about a rise in anti-Semitism on college campuses following the outbreak of the Israel-Hamas war in October. She has agreed to stay on until an interim president is appointed. McGill will remain a tenured faculty member at the university's law school. McGill, Howard University President Claudine Gay, and Massachusetts Institute of Technology President Sally Kornbluth testified before a U.S. House of Representatives committee on Tuesday. As they tried to walk a line that protected freedom of speech, they declined to give a definitive yes or no answer to Republican Representative Elise Stefanik's question of whether calling for the genocide of Jews would violate their school's codes of conduct regarding bullying and harassment. Calls for McGill's and Gay's resignations in particular mounted in days after that testimony. Anti-Semitic incidents in the United States rose by about 400% in the 2 weeks after the Hamas attack on Israel, which is according to the Anti-Defamation League. The Council on American Islamic Relations said this week that in the 2 months after the war began, incidents motivated by Islamophobia and bias against Palestinians and Arabs rose by 172% compared to the same period of last year. And now before we wrap up, here's a look into the top stories one more time. Federal government fails to meet the ultimatum to formulate Civil Service Act and Police Coordination Management. Madhya Chief Minister Yadav warns of a protest. International Human Rights Day being celebrated across the country today. Increasing grievances of deteriorating human rights situation amid rising impunity. 36% of households in Gaza experiencing severe hunger. The death toll in Gaza reaches almost 18,000. Yemen's Houthis warn of targeting all Israel-bound ships. And Arsenal miss out on retaining the top spot in the English Premier League after suffering a 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa. Bournemouth thrashed Manchester United 3-0, Liverpool on the top. That is all for the moment. Our next release bulletin airs at 6 p.m. Thank you for staying with us. Have a beautiful day ahead.